Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about some misconceptions about the zodiac sign Cancer. So let me get started. There seems to be something where I think people might have the tendency to stereotype the sign Cancer in that we're very irascible or irrational, and that we don't think clearly or in a lucid manner, and that everything is on the emotional end in terms of our thinking, and that sometimes or often our judgments are obstructed or clouded with emotion, and with that we're thinking not with our brains sometimes. And all signs could be guilty of that, firstly. And the thing about the sign of Cancer is that yes, it is a water sign, and it's going to be more sensitive on average compared to the average zodiac sign. However, there's some reasons for this, and I don't think you can blame it all on Cancer people, Cancer personalities, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. Look at this sign. Cancer is often a sign that is imposed upon frequently, and I think could be imposed upon for whatever reasons, maybe more so than any of the other signs. A lot of it is because people sense their kind, benevolent nature, and a lot of them, that Cancers are very sympathetic and empathetic toward others. And I think what happens is, in a lot of cases, Cancer, the sign Cancer will be so giving to somebody, and they don't always even receive maybe half of what they gave to that person. And in a number of cases, Cancers can often maybe be manipulated, maybe by con artists or people that take it, just simply people that take advantage of their good-hearted nature. And then what that does is that actually exacerbates the sensitivity in Cancer, and it makes them even more, makes them feel more sensitive to maybe or hurt than they would be ordinarily. So unfortunately, a lot of that sensitivity is attributed to the fact that they have so much inside in their heart to give. Now, Venus, granted, it governs Libra and Taurus, and that's planet that's connected with love. But I really believe that maybe there's no sign that can love unconditionally as opposed to Cancer. I think Cancer has that great capacity and capability, and that's part of the reason why they get hurt so much. And as far as when we talk about them not being Cancers not being rational, there's a number of people that think this. We got to remember too that that's very generic. And you look at many Cancers in their horoscopes. A Sun in Cancer is going to often have their Mercury not in Cancer but in Gemini or Leo, and that does modify things. Obviously, if you have a different, let's take a Cancer Sun sign that has a Moon in a non-water sign and Mercury and Ascendant non-water, obviously will be a lot less emotional than somebody that just has the Sun sign in Cancer. And I believe if somebody has the Sun sign in early Cancer, they're going to perhaps have a little nuance or flavoring of Gemini mixed in their personality as well. So it's important not to categorize everybody now into one group. Well, now if you want to make a general statement about Cancer, I understand that. Cancers are more sensitive on average compared to the average person as a general rule. Now, and also it's important to be careful that if you're making statements like this about whatever sign and they're derogatory or negative, keep in mind they all have positive attributes as well. And every sign has their good and their bad. And also, I mean, you could take somebody, if you're going to talk about Cancer being very emotional, there's a chance that some of these people might have Pisces prominently placed in their horoscope, or another water sign. Their Sun sign might not be Cancer, but they might maybe even have the Moon in Cancer and or Ascendant in Cancer, say, and maybe not even know it if they're not fully understanding of, they don't have, if they just a person that understands astrology on a very basic and fundamental level and just realizes their Sun sign but not anything else, then they need to be careful. Just look at your whole chart first before you start saying, well, Cancer this, and they're emotional and they can't they get upset, or if you try to be jocular with a Cancer, they can't laugh with you or whatever. So I think that's very important and essential to remember. And it's just one of those things where Cancers do have a very a good heart on average, and that's part of the reason where it's attributed to them getting hurt a little bit more easier as opposed to the average zodiac sign. So, and it's a thing where Cancers can actually be very, I mean, we look at some Cancers, Cancer rising, Albert Einstein had Cancer rising. Now he also had his moon in Sagittarius, and his sun sign was in a water sign as well. So you could have some Cancers that are actually capable of some abstract thinking. A lot of it can depend on other elements in the horoscope in addition to their sun sign. So anyway, that's basically what I wanted to get on as far as Cancer goes. And Cancers can actually be very literate too, and be able to articulate very well, because they often have their profound insight can often equate to a very strong intellect at the same time. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Misconceptions about the zodiac sign Cancer. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be talking about continuing my series on the South Node aspects. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.